Alrighty, welcome back everybody to the Tradewaiters podcast, the comic book club, where we read a different trade paperback every single week. I'm Daniel, you're Nathan. We're brothers, we read comics, and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
This is our Thanksgiving episode, where we might do this every year, I don't know, do a Fantastic Four book.
We'll have to find another family book, maybe. I just can't think of any.
Yeah, so this is like our default right now. So.
Yeah. Well, there's
maybe the Bat Family or something like that.
There's gonna be like the Bat Family,
or fucking Superman, you know, where like he's got
Superman's got a fucking kid now.
Yeah.
So or there's
options.
Spider-Man's gonna have a family again in like Ultimate Spider-Man, I guess. So
okay,
that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, we got different segments in the show. We got the book, which is Fantastic Four,
which we're thankful for.
What
else are you thankful for?
We are Fantastic Four.
Yes, only that.
The Back Matter Matters and the poll list, but we start with the news. This news segment is brought to you by the death of Comixology.
Dude, yeah. Of all of the goats that have died while we've been recording this podcast.
Too many.
Many.
Maybe we should stop.
We should stop, dude. I think we're killing all the goats because fucking Comixology. Okay, the lifeblood of this podcast for me, at least, because I'm too lazy to get a fucking library card for Hoopla.
Yeah, dude.
It's going away.
Did you buy this? The book that we read today?
I probably bought it. If it wasn't on Comixology Unlimited, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, so basically Comixology is going to be merging with the Kindle app, and it's gonna still, I guess, include all the features you're used to, including the comics library, group issues, volumes, omnibuy. They said omnibuses, which I feel like you're gonna die anyway. Just say omnibuy and all that stuff. But they are just merging, and that you cannot just, by the time this comes out, you'll have like a couple days left to Comixology, pretty much. Like on December 4th. They're going to merge Comixology and the Kindle applications on iOS, Android, Fire OS, and the Comixology app will no longer be available.
Some of the articles I saw about it, it was like Comixology's being killed or whatever.
It feels like it.
Amazon's killing Comixology.
Like literally, like technically nothing's happening, but I don't want to go to the Kindle app.
Yeah,
that's cringe. Comixology sounds cool.
I don't think I have anything on the Kindle app, but yeah, I had to like download it and just to see it. You know,
I think the first comic I read digitally was on Kindle technically.
It seems, yeah, me too. But it seems like already kind of the Explore options are better because like it'll be like based off of what you're reading, you know. It'll suggest like
filter by like, I guess I could just look
maybe
on the Kindle app. But
like mine was like, oh, you like Scott Pilgrim? How about Scott Pilgrim Volume 2 or whatever? You know?
Will it have normal books on there without pictures on there?
Yeah,
cringe books as I call them.
Yeah, dude, it'll be like mixed in with it, which is annoying.
Yeah.
So that's my only problem right now. It's like it thinks I want real books, but I don't.
No. That's gross.
Yeah, it's icky.
What if I see something and it looks like a cool comic, but it's just a normal book?
Normal books don't have cool covers.
What about the magic fish? I can't even tell if this is a comic, dude.
It might be a children's picture book.
See, there's also those, but I guess those are also in Comixology.
Yeah.
There's a study guide for American-born Chinese it just recommended me, Daniel. We're fucking doomed.
That's kind of cool. That's kind of like an art book.
It is.
But like it's like annotated, you know?
Well, they have a reading streak? I've read 5 weeks in a row, apparently.
Hey, good for you.
That seems weird because we do this every week.
Maybe you didn't read like the week I was gone or something.
Perhaps.
But anyway,
yeah, that sucks. And Comixology's dead. And so is Amazon to me.
You were so young. You were just a mere 16 years old.
Dude, do you remember your first Comixology book? I remember I just got a phone, like a new smartphone, and I was like, I could read comics on this now.
My first Comixology book. No.
I think the first Kindle book I read was...
That's like asking what like the first movie you ever saw was.
Okay, but like reading digitally is different from like comics or whatever.
You
don't remember your first comic?
I remember my first comic because it was Bone. But like,
oh yeah, valid.
And then the second one was like Death of the Family
Oh
that
yeah,
you gave me.
Yeah, I did. I was your dealer.
Yeah.
I gave you a little sample, and then you came back to me and he was like, "I need more."
Came back for more.
Yeah,
I got me hooked.
Mine
It was a gateway comic.
Mine did. Yeah, it was. My gateway comic was Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe because I was like, "Oh, this seems cool."
I might have read that digitally.
That was like
that
the first.
might have been like
that was the first
one.
digital book I think I read.
Okay,
So,
that might be it.
yeah, but big fucking bummer.
Yeah, dude, we're just. Oh, you
So,
know,
like,
I
is it
heard
still-
about Omnibus. Like, apparently that's supposed to be coming to like phones.
It
like,
will.
by like December, I think.
They had a big marketing push for this, and it was like on their social media stuff. It was like Kindles aren't meant for comics, kind of shit. And,
I have a Kindle for comics, and it's sick.
Well, it's like, yeah, I don't know. They were like pushing that, and they're like, well, you could download Omnibus on if you have like an iPad.
Yeah,
And so they have an online reader, and I might check it out, but they don't have like everything.
they have like,
But they have like
70% of
they have like
stuff.
Image and like all the good publishers, and even some of the bad publishers.
Press,
Yeah.
Dark Horse.
So-
it's just like all the indie stuff.
So I might be hitting them up for that because I want them to succeed. So maybe I should just give them money.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, Omnibus, come to fucking Android. Daniel, this is a piece of news that I screenshotted twice because I forgot about it the first time. So very exciting stuff. Ghost Rider #1 relaunching in March 2024 with Ben Percy and Danny Kim. And we don't know who the Ghost Rider is going to be or whatever. The new Spirit of Vengeance.
Love that.
So that's fun. It looks like a blonde guy though.
Speaking of books coming in next year, we got Red Hood: The Hill. It'll be a 6-issue miniseries coming February 24th from Sean Martinborough and Sanford Green.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow, he did good with Red Hood, I
Red
feel
Hood,
like.
yeah.
Yeah, good for him.
This is like one of the covers. Look pretty cool.
That is cool.
And then there's another one of the covers. Looks cooler.
Is that a Sanford Green one?
I assume.
Your face just... Dude, that was awesome. I hope you zoom into yourself too, because that was good.
That'll be my thumbnail.
Yeah. Please do.
But yeah, that was pretty cool. I might get that since it's a mini series, and then just seeing like Big Two stuff and like Sanford Green artwork, I'm totally here for.
Yeah, big fan of that. Here's one people were really excited about. Spectacular Spider-Men is gonna have a new ongoing with Peter and Miles in it, and it's gonna be written by Greg Weisman, who's the writer or who created Spectacular Spider-Man, the animated TV show.
Okay.
And I never watched that specific Spider-Man TV show, but people seem to love it. So, so that's pretty cool.
Speaking of Spider-Man, Nathan,
What else? What other Spider-Man stuff?
there's a What If Venom anthology that's coming next year, February 28th. It'll be 5 issues. It'll just be like 5 different people being infected by the Venom symbiote.
Like 5 different heroes?
Yeah. First one's
Or
Loki.
people? Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
This is kind of fun then.
Yeah. So like one shots. I don't know if it might be different teams on each one.
Who would you like to see be gooped in Venom?
Gooped by Venom. Like Galactus or something.
Oh, I like that. And he goops all over the whole planet.
But I don't know. This seemed kind of redundant because like I feel like there was like a year or two where he just like venomized and stuff like that.
Yeah, there definitely was that.
It just felt like he got everybody, and we saw what it'd be like if everybody was Venom at some point.
Yeah, but maybe they were like, one particular person was like kind of an interesting idea to be venomized, and so they're like, let's dig in on that a little bit more.
Sure.
I want it to be someone with like fire powers, and they just like can't use their fire powers anymore, like Human Torch. And it's just like, well, I guess I'm just normal Venom.
Unless I feel like they wouldn't do that. They would just be like Black Fire or something.
Or what if it was like Black Bolt? It was like because the sound affects the symbiote.
So like,
But he doesn't really use the
scream.
sound anyway, so he could still be like pretty useful, I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting. See, hire me, Marvel. Daniel, the first trailer. We got a couple trailers.
Lots of trailers.
My favorite one that I'm excited for: Merry Little Batman. Did you see this?
No.
It's a movie, an animated movie, coming straight to Prime Video on December 8th,
Okay.
and looks fun.
Why? I don't know what this is, so you need to describe to me what it is.
It's Batman trying to save Christmas.
Hell
but
yeah.
Batman goes away. And so it's the sidekick, who I think is a Robin. It wasn't like clearly like a Robin, so I don't know who specifically it is. But he has to save. Oh no, it's Damien. Actually, sorry.
Okay.
Damien has to save Christmas from the Joker, who is kind of taking on like a Grinch role.
That's funny.
And he's recruiting like other villains like Bane and stuff to like go take people's presents away and shit.
Does it like seem serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems like people had a lot of fun making it.
Like it wasn't like just some like campy kids thing.
No.
Nice.
It's not like one of those random like Lego movies that they'll drop randomly and it'll be like Lego Star Wars but Christmas.
This is coming out on Prime?
Yeah, which is weird to me. So I think they're sunsetting Max.
I mean, they're doing that Capes Crusader thing, right? Amazon.
What is that?
Remember that thing that was going to be made by like the guys who made like the animated series?
Oh, yeah, the Batman animated series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were just going to cancel it though, and so Max just shopped it around. So maybe that's what happened with this.
I thought it landed with Amazon, so maybe there's other things that are landed with Amazon too.
Yeah, but this seems like a lot of fun. It kind of like took a animated style. It would seem like pretty unique, but it almost seemed like it'd be like Teen Titans Go type fun.
Okay.
Not exactly like that animated style. It seems like a mix of like Teen Titans Go and like that Aquaman animated show.
Yeah.
That was like also pretty fun. So
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
When's that come out?
December 8th.
Sick. Nathan, speaking of animated things,
What else we got?
we got a trailer for Garfield,
I saw part of it.
voiced by the one, the only Chris Pratt. the
Doing
only
his-
voice actor in Hollywood, apparently.
Doing his one and only voice that he can do, which is Chris Pratt.
It's a little jarring because it like Bill Murray will just be like seared into my brain for Garfield.
Yeah.
And so like I kind of got used to it as I was watching it, but like it's a little off.
Yeah. I could see people like complaining about him being Mario because that's a pretty specific voice with the, what's his face, who was used to do it.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but he's the GOAT. But yeah, Garfield is just like,
I'm not mad about it.
Yeah,
like, I don't care about Garfield.
But he's not putting any like stank on it, you know?
Yeah, no effort, no pizzazz.
Yeah, he's just like, I like Mondays or whatever. Or no, I hate Mondays.
I love pizza.
Yeah. Let me a calzone.
Yeah. In other animated news, Nathan, we got a trailer for What If Season 2.
I seen it.
It comes out December 22nd with daily new episodes for 9 days.
I think that's cool.
I think that's cool. I think that's like almost like you might as well just drop them all at once, but they're just like, no, we'll make you wait a little.
I guess they're just like testing it out, see if people like talk about it like every day or something.
And I think they have like a Christmas episode or something, which is cool.
Ooh, I do like that.
Because it comes out right before.
I do love a good Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Did they release like the official episode list? I know we had like a rough idea and they didn't seem very fun. But like some of the ideas in here seemed pretty fun, so I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't really analyze it that much.
It was just like,
I'm just going to wait till it comes out.
Yeah, that's fair. Did you see the Madam Web trailer?
I did. Adam Scott's in this.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. I was like, it was like a jump scare. I was like, oh my God.
No.
They're taking my
Not
boy.
him.
They're taking my boy.
It should have been me.
It was so weird to see him in there. I'm like, is that Adam Scott?
And he
How did
wasn't like a
get
comic relief role.
No,
you know?
he's like a fucking cop. And he's like, you okay?
He's like an
Miss Madam
EMT
Web?
or something. But
Yeah. And so I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah, so
Why?
why Madam Web?
Why is this happening?
I don't know. Are you more or less anticipating this?
You know what I'm fascinated about, though? I'm not anticipating this.
Okay. We're going to read a Madam Web book when it comes out. So.
Dude.
Dude, come on. It's really just a Spider-Man book with Madam Web as like the villain. Like, because there's no just standalone Madam Web
You looked?
like books. Yeah.
Okay.
This is all I do.
I'm fascinated by how much people like the Sony Spider-Man stuff that's not like Spider-Verse. Like people really like Venom.
People are like looking forward to like Venom 3.
And I saw like reactions to this and they're like, holy shit, this looks good. And I'm like, what did you see?
It doesn't look that bad.
It doesn't look terrible.
It looks better than Craven.
Yeah. Well, I think Craven's going to be better than this.
Maybe.
I forgot about that movie entirely.
I'm looking forward to like seeing everybody, you know? And there's like kind of like 4 like spider women in this, you know? So I kind of look forward to that.
And then there's like an evil Spider-Man person. His name's like Phyllis or something.
Ezekiel?
That's what it is, yeah.
I was like, is that like Tarantula or something? Like from the DC universe?
No, apparently it was like a John Romita Jr. character.
Yeah, it's when there was like a spider totem or whatever. You remember when they kind of got into that and like he's like connected to some like spider god or whatever?
No.
Okay, there's some shit like that. And I guess this Ezekiel dude is the dude who like told Peter Parker about the spider totem or whatever. People can look more into that if they want. I don't think it's that.
Do they all web around?
Do they all web around? I don't know. But
the only other spider character I really want to see is like Spider-Woman.
Yeah.
Like,
is that not what Sydney Sweeney is going to be?
No, she's.
I think she's like a Spider-Woman, but not like the one that we like.
Yeah, I like the one with like the red and yellow and shit. She could like fly.
Yeah, that's what I thought
cool.
she was going to be.
But yeah, I couldn't tell you any of the characters. I don't know. I'm just not interested.
It did pique my interest. I will watch this. And, you know, I'm in this like funk right now to where like I'm not looking forward to anything, but I will watch it. And if it's not complete dog shit, I'll be like, okay, I'm okay with this.
You're not looking for like Deadpool?
Deadpool, I know won't be. I feel like it won't be like as good as like 1 or 2. You know, I just feel like it's hard to like
really
hit.
Even with a Wolverine.
That might be cool, but I don't know if it's gonna like save the movie if the movie's not put together well or whatever.
That's fair.
It's just like 2 was like a drop from 1 for me. A slight drop, but a drop.
Yeah.
I know you like 2 a little bit more than 1, but
did I say that?
You said that.
That's fair. And I stand by it, Daniel.
Okay. And so it's just,
yeah, I think I do.
I'm just worried because there's a lot of elements that we're hearing about, and I just don't want them necessarily.
Oh yeah, about all the things that they're roping in.
Yeah,
they're like, watch this because of this.
Yeah, it might be fun. I'll probably have a good time regardless. I don't know if it'll be like best of the 3, but I am like looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I do agree. I'm not really like looking forward to anything specifically, and I'm like, oh my god, I cannot wait for this to come out.
Apparently, there's no like MCU movies next year.
Cool.
And no DC movies next year. So it's just like,
dude, we're gonna have so much free time. We can read whatever we want.
Well, the Joker's coming out, and that counts, I guess.
Yeah,
but no like connected universe shit.
2025 is gonna be crazy, right? Because isn't that when the Batman's gonna come out?
That's when like Superman will come out, and I think the Batman too.
Cool.
But yeah, it's mostly just like Sony shit.
Isn't like Captain America?
That was pushed.
Oh, it's supposed to come out in like March or something, right? 2025?
Yeah, I think so. Wow. It's supposed to be in July, but the strike just pushed everything back.
Yeah, good.
Which I'm cool with, you know. Anyway,
everybody's been too annoying about how Marvel fell off. So,
all right. Speaking of other shows, we got a trailer for Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Oh yeah,
looks sick.
Yeah, there's Avatar comics, huh?
There sure are. There's some that like aren't even like a part of like the show.
The Aang saga.
The Aang saga. I think Aang's in it, but it's like side mission kind of shit.
Interesting.
Spin-offs, I guess. So we'll have something.
Cool. Yeah, those seem like actually. I think I've actually heard good things about those, but the show looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'm like looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. I think I always have Sophie as like a litmus test, you know, just for anything, because she's not like a huge like nerd.
Okay.
Well, she is, I guess, but she's not like caught up on things. And so when I was like, they're doing a live action Avatar Airbender, she's like, didn't they try that already? And I'm like, oh no, public perception's already down in the gutter. She's like my window into like
she's society.
For you. She's society. She's like my best like way to understand what like public perception of something is.
I have to filter the things I want to talk about for Sarah, yeah, because like I have to tell her things that, you know, that I know she'll want to listen to me like about, you know? So
yeah. Like when we went to go see the Marvels, I was like, hey, do you want to go see that? And she's like, what is it supposed to be? And I'm like, oh no one knows about this movie.
Sarah knew it. She's like, I didn't see the first one. I'm like, all right, that's valid.
Yeah.
But
that's fair.
Anyway, last thing, another live action anime news. There was a trailer for Yu Yu Hakusho. Do you remember that?
No.
There's like an anime that was going on around like the Toonami days when we were watching it. I don't think we ever really watched it, but I remember hearing about
Toonami?
it. Toonami.
What is that?
Remember, like after like Cartoon Network,
Oh,
like
yeah,
Toonami
okay.
would come on,
All right,
and then
yeah.
after that, it'd be like Adult Swim.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was like one of the animes that they would watch. They would show on that.
When would Boomerang come on? Is that on like Nickelodeon?
Boomerang. That was like Cartoon Network, like early in the morning. I thought,
Oh, okay.
or like,
Yeah, that sounds
eventually there was like a Boomerang channel
Yeah,
on Cox at least.
dude, I still remember their weird commercials, the Boomerang ones.
It was like advertising like
Toys
that
walking around?
that like don't exist anymore.
Yeah, they're like walking around and they're like,
Like, I can't even buy this. This
Yeah,
is
I know.
like it's like the commercials like we're stuck with the episodes.
Yeah.
And you just had to rewatch these old ass.
Dude, it was fucking drilled into my brain. Literally propaganda. If you don't think propaganda works, think about the Boomerang commercials. Okay, you know what I'm talking about, listener.
I feel like it's a handful of people like watch Boomerang. You know?
A handful of people will just turn into sleeper agents right now, just thinking about that like Boomerang commercial. They're like, oh my god, I remember.
Or they're sleeper agents that woke up. You know.
Yeah. So
anyway,
there's a Berserker Fallen Empire book coming out that's not attached with Keanu Reeves, but Mattson Tomlin, who's like that big shot writer. He did the Batman with Sorrentino, the Batman book.
okay.
He's supposed to be pretty big. I think he does like movies or something, but he's doing it with Rebecca Isaacs, who's on.
So it's
Money
the
Shot for a little
Berserker
bit.
property.
It's Berserker property before, like in the ancient Empire days, and like
Nice.
how that felt. So I'm like, that's kind of interesting.
Shall we get in the book this week?
Yes,
What did we read this week, Nathan?
we read Fantastic Four by Ryan North and Iban Coelho and Ivan something
Fiorelli.
Fiorelli. I just opened up Comixology and they're like, hey, we're dying. So that's sad.
And colors by Jesus Abertov and Joe Caramanga.
With Alex
Your
Ross
Magna.
covers. There's an Alex Ross. So this book is like, this trade's fairly recent because this book's only on like issue 13. And I think it came out today.
Yeah, this started like November 2022,
Yeah.
I think.
So this is fresh.
Yeah.
Doing some fresh books.
Hot off the presses.
Yeah. And I only mentioned that just because the one that came out today, it was an Alex Ross cover, and Dr. Doom was riding on a dinosaur, and the dinosaur had a Dr. Doom mask on.
That's hard.
And I was like, this is so cool. Do I need to catch up?
Like Alex Ross is like,
The most.
I can make this look great.
He's like, I can make this look photorealistic.
Yeah.
And it looks so good. So I like it a lot.
I hope he's not like taking orders or whatever on like whatever the cover needs to be, and this is just his own like silliness coming out.
Imagine they're like, just do whatever, and then he turns in like that, like a Dr. Doom dinosaur, and he's
Yeah.
like, do you guys like it?
But yeah, these Alex Ross covers are top notch.
Dude, yeah, and like,
I think the trade cover is like the best like Alex Ross cover of like this decade.
wow. Yeah, I agree.
Because
Something
like,
about,
the
like-
colors, like the neon colors with it,
Did he do
are
that?
so sick. Yeah, he does all his colors.
That's fucking cool. Yeah, he's getting ballsy.
He is
isn't he?
goated.
He's like, I know
Of
how to make
course.
things look like photorealistic.
Yeah.
How about fucking cool?
Yeah.
And yeah, it looks great. It's very like neon pink, and like the Human Torch stuff is like shining off of people really well.
Yeah, there's like some teal in there, some greens
Yeah,
and
dude.
whatnot. And then like, yeah, I'm just a sucker for it.
Mm-hmm.
It never gets old.
I love how much he like posts on Twitter, and then every once in a while he'll like hit your favorite like obscure character, and it's like, yes.
Yeah. It's
So
like, yes, like Starman or whatever.
he has a really sick Iron Fist one,
Yeah.
and I was like, yes, thank you. So yeah, we read Fantastic Four. What did you think of this, Daniel?
I thought this was very good. I thought it was a very smart comic.
Mhm.
I thought it was a very good like start to bringing back these characters, you know, in their own series.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of fun, like the first like few issues, because it was like
They're split up.
split up and there was like an anthology between the characters, you know.
Yeah, I thought that was a very unique way to start it,
Yeah. So
and ballsy to be like, hey, Fantastic Four book. Let me only show you one guy.
yeah,
of
he's
the Fantastic
being
Four.
ballsy with it, which is fun.
Yeah.
It did that thing where it's kind of like a 4-issue arc and then like a 2-issue arc thing because it's 6 issues total.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Didn't love the 2-issue thing. It was a little
I
too.
thought it was good.
It was good. It was a little too smart for me, you know.
Yeah,
I'm like, I had to think too hard.
I think Ryan North nails these characters and like their voices for
Yeah.
sure, and he really thinks about the situations that he's putting these characters in.
Yeah,
And
they're
like,
definitely well thought out.
Yeah, they're well thought out in the sense that like I could see them being in this situation like that they've put themselves in pretty much.
Right.
And also he's figured out like more than just like basic comic book like logic of like how that thing happens, you know?
Yeah.
So like when there's like a weird science thing that happens, he's like thought about it enough to be like, let me explain it to you at like a base level, but like still make it seem pretty smart.
Yeah, because
I
like
appreciate.
it's only like Reed coming up with something, and then he has to explain to the rest of them, which is
Yeah.
also explained to us.
Yeah.
You know what's going on?
But it, like I'm like, yeah, that science checks out, I guess.
At first, I thought this was like depending on like an old event thing.
Yeah, me too.
And then I'm like, okay, I'll just roll with it or whatever. And then it goes to like explain what happened and why they're separated.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that was a good rap.
Yeah, it's
You
good.
know? So
So
yeah, it was fun. Incredible art, of course.
good family stuff in here too.
Good fam stuff.
Yeah, which is what we
We
want.
get a group hug later.
A group hug, then they're crying together, and I'm like, that's family.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty cool. So let's jump into it. So yeah, the first couple issues they're like split up because the Fantastic Four had a breakup, and we're like, oh, that's weird. I wonder why. But Ben Grimm and Alicia Grimm, they're married, I guess, go to a motel, and overnight the motel and surrounding city changes to like a 1940s sort of old timey look, and each day keeps resetting overnight, which they find out mid fight when like some civilians attack them, and so they're like, wow, this is weird.
Yeah, like the first 3 pages are like repeated to
Yeah,
show,
which fucked me up.
to kind of hint. I'm like, is there something wrong with this?
I was like, did I just read this page? And then I scrolled back and it was like still there, and I was like, wait,
like
what
I got
the
a bad file.
fuck? Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, oh, that's funny. They fucked up. But no, it's like the day resetting, and so that's why they did that. And I was like, that's clever.
Real quick thing. Only criticism I have about it's like Iban Coelho, right?
Yeah,
About his artwork is like the eyebrow bone.
dude,
for
I'm
the
so
thing.
glad you brought this up.
It looks like a visor.
He does a great thing, but I need some blockier eyebrows. You know,
I need the like because
he makes it look like a hat almost.
yeah, it's a little odd. I get like some people did that and whatnot, and
Mm-hmm.
it just kind of depends. And it's kind of like what's like another character to where like it's just kind of how you draw them, but nothing's necessarily wrong.
Like a Hellboy.
It's kind of
maybe?
like the Hulk, you
Hulk,
know,
yeah.
like there's not that many rules to it. And so just how you draw is just how you draw it.
Mhm.
And this is just how he draws it.
Same with it, yeah.
But
I
it
think
was-
there's like it's just like a bit sharp. You know,
yeah,
his
it is
eyebrows.
very sharp. It just makes you want to like pull it up. You know?
Yeah, it looks like the brim of like a hat, and you just
Yeah.
like take it off. Yeah, I'm glad he said that because, you know, he still looks rocking. He still looks good, and I like, you know, he's got this like big mouth and shit. But yeah, block your eyebrows for me personally.
Definitely.
I do love seeing him in just like normal clothes,
Yeah.
and I'm like, damn,
Casual Friday thing.
his pants are probably like hundreds, you know.
Oh yeah.
And Alicia is blind, which I didn't know, but it's cool because she like
You didn't know that?
I didn't know he had a wife
Yeah, she's blind in like the movies.
in like the.
Remember like Kerry Washington like plays her?
I don't remember those movies.
Really?
I'll be honest. I remember the first one fairly well. But does he have a wife that's blind in that? When
No,
he turns
not like
into
a
thing?
wife. It's like someone that he meets like after he like is turned,
Ooh.
and he's like, let me get something on the rocks or whatever, and she's like, make it a double or whatever, and put on my tab. She's like, appreciate it.
That's so sick that his go-to bar drink is on the rocks.
Yeah,
he just throws
it's
that in
just
'cause it's
cold,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
I can't remember what the drink was, but yeah.
Oh man, what a fun! But I like that she like uses accessibility tools on her phone to like look things up, and it'll like explain what's happening. And I thought that was also a clever way to be like, here's what's going on like in the setting that they're in, because she's like looking it up on Wikipedia or Google or whatever. I thought that was cool.
She has what are the accessibility tools?
So they're like walking around the town, and they're like, it's really old. Like, what's up with this town? And so Alicia like asks like Google or whatever about the town. And then it's like the phone is like, explaining. Like you can do that normally.
It's just Siri, you know.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, it's just kind of cool that.
So that
That's
kind
what
of
she
got
does.
away from me, and I like forgot about it. And then I think back to what she did. Like he like stays at the hotel one day, and she just wanders around looking for answers. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Yeah,
There are a couple lines in here. I'm like, how do you know?
yeah.
So
Anyway,
it's interesting. It's kind of fucked. Do you think in the comics they were like, we need to give the Thing a girlfriend, but like who'd want to date the Thing? So like, let's just make her blind. Do you think that was like the idea initially, or do you think it was like nicer than that? Because I don't really know the history, but
Fantastic Four are really old, so I don't think that's like unrealistic to think.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't think so either. But they're really cute together in this. They're like my favorite couple.
Yeah, definitely.
So anyway, they both decide to help the town get out of this like time loop thing. So they explore it over multiple days to try and find the source. And they discover it's a guy in a bar named Sanford, wishing that he's able to like do it all over again because he's heartbroken over a breakup. And so they spend multiple days reset trying to convince him not to wish for it all over again. There's a couple sequences where we see like that day reset over and like every day is like 3 panels like in a row. But the pages like bleed down like further than like what the actual physical limitations of the page are. And so I thought the file was fucked up again because I was like, I can't see this full panel because you can only see like half of it.
It kind of like doesn't matter.
It like doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I was
I'm like, is this one of those infinite scrollers?
Yeah, they made it seem like it was supposed to be that. And so like I get what they were trying to do once I understood what was happening, but I was like, it just fucked me up for a second.
This first issue is really long.
I think it might have been double. Or, no, it was like 38 pages or something. But yeah.
36. But that's also including like the beginning stuff. But.
Yeah. And you know, it's cool because it's like good. You know, I like the story that's going on here. Like, I love how much of a sap that like the thing is for his wife.
Yeah.
Like when he's writing about it in like his journal or whatever, he's like, man, I love that girl. So,
dude, someone like shoots him, right? Mm-hmm. And then he goes and grabs the guy's hand and his gun and like crushes it. And then he just walks away pretty chill about it.
Dude, I thought
like,
the same thing.
As if like someone just like kicked dirt on his shoes.
Yeah. He's like, oh man.
Yeah. Like, like,
he's not just like blood curdling scream.
Yeah.
He thought it hurt so bad. I also really like this perspective from Alicia when she's like leveling with this guy and she's like, your relationship isn't a failure because it didn't last until one of the people in it were dead. Like, that's not love, that's cockfighting. And I was like, what a nice way to think about it.
Bars.
Yeah, that is bars.
I like this car smash by the thing.
Dude, yeah.
I'm like, this looks great.
Yeah. He does.
You know how I love good debris, good window shattering?
Good little crumple.
Yeah. Good little crunch.
Oh, I didn't even see the window shatter. Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's good stuff right there.
And then
he drops the OG. It's clobbering time.
Yeah, you gotta.
You have to.
If he didn't drop it in here, I stopped reading.
Has to be once a trade, but I think it happens twice in this one.
Yeah, that's good.
Good stuff.
So this guy decides that he doesn't need to do over and wish the day over again, and he moves on. And we eventually see him meet the love of his life and live a very happy life together until he dies. But it sort of like breaks the loop, I guess. And the next day, the town turns back to modern. So Ben and Alicia leave, and then it's revealed that the Fantastic Four split up because Reed blew up part of New York.
Mm-hmm.
I love their car.
It's like
a car, but like half of the driver's side, like the driver's side of it can like flip up so that the thing can like stick out of it.
Oh, that's funny.
Because he's obviously way too big to fit in a car.
Yeah.
So they've just like figured it out.
There's a little joke in here that I thought was funny. It's because like since this is set in like the 60s or whatever,
mm-hmm.
they get to a point where they're just trying to convince other people in the town that they are from the future, and so she's like playing music on her phone.
Yeah,
and she decides to play like Lil Nas X.
Yeah,
and plays Old Town Road.
Yeah,
there's like a panel that says Wrangler on my booty.
Oh, I didn't know that's what it was.
Cowboy hat from Gucci, you know. And so I was like,
that's hilarious. And she's like, you can get any music on your phone right here.
Yeah. And so I thought that was funny.
I've got decades of advanced beats. That's funny.
Anyway, issue 2.
Yeah, issue 2. So this one is a Reed and Sue story. So they're at a diner in some town and they get recognized as the Richards, and the civilians of this town turn into Doombots and start attacking them until a regular cop shows up. And the Doombots like go back into civilian mode to like not get recognized, I guess.
These Doombots look great.
These Doombots look so good.
Like when they're all like fucking jump in to attack them in like this burger place.
Yeah, and the Doombots are all like the waitress is still like wearing the waitress like shirts and stuff. And I think Yvonne does like a really good read. I feel like he looks like pretty young or whatever, but I just like the way that he looks.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
And all the action that he does with like all the stretchy shit, like
very
strong. It's very strong.
Very cool, yeah.
But I have a question for you.
Let's hear it.
Do you like bearded Reed Richards better?
No.
I think I might.
I like it when it happens, but maybe just in the winter.
Okay, sure.
You know, not like an occasional thing, not like a full-time thing.
Yeah, maybe not a full-time thing.
Because, like, he's got, like, the gray in his hair to kind of differentiate him, but I don't think we, like, need, like, another bearded person, I guess.
What if he had a beard, but there were still temples, but, like, towards the bottom, and it was just, like, the top half of his beard was gray?
Maybe if, like, the grayness, like, went into his beard, and his beard was gray, too.
Ooh, maybe.
But, yeah, I like how they, like, just decided to, like, shave it and kind of more feel like a fresh start kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that was smart for them to do for this run.
It was pretty heavy in, like, you know, older stuff, like, prior to this.
Yeah.
And so, I like it.
Yeah. So they go back to town after being escorted out by the cop.
Yeah, okay, so this cop picks him up and then drives him outside of town and tells him to leave, but their car was back at that restaurant.
Yeah, so
the Fantastic
you got to get the Fantastic car, right? So I don't know what his plan was.
I was pretty stoked to see that too.
Yeah. I like that they just drive it around. It's cool.
Yeah, I'm like, doesn't this shit fly? And then they're like stuck in traffic.
They could probably, maybe the cop just assumed that the Fantastic car could just come back to them. Like, I'm sure Reed probably scheduled or programmed something to like have it come to him when he needs it.
Remote control thing. Yeah.
So anyway, they go back to town and they discover the whole town are Doombots in disguise, except for when they are outside of the radius of an old lady that's there. So anytime they're near this old lady, they turn into like the civilian like part of it.
They turn into people. And, like,
yeah, they turn into like
cloak
people.
themselves to look like people.
Cloak, yeah, that's what I was looking for. And so,
did you know that Sue could like make other people invisible?
Yeah, her powers are stretched a bit.
I feel like everyone's powers are like kind of expanded on here.
I think
in this book, like I'll get to them because I wrote them down because I'm like, wait a fucking minute.
Yeah, this one was shocking to me because she could make other people invisible and then also make like a sound barrier.
Yeah,
within their thing, so that I guess that makes sense.
And then Reed can just like change his face.
I like that.
Yeah, it is funny.
He's like Plastic Man.
It's very Looney Tunes.
Yeah, very Looney Tunes. So yeah, the whole town's Doombots when they're around this old lady. So Reed talks to the old lady and finds out that Doom is protecting this lady who's just like a nice teacher from his childhood. And he just decided that like she needs to just like be taken care of. So he just built a bunch of Doombots to like protect her.
Do you think that they like role play with him having like a different face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If I was Sue, I would make him be whoever whoever I wanted.
Else.
Yeah. Like who's hot this week? Like in the news on TMZ, you know, be that. But
it's like I don't want to be Jason Momoa again.
I'd shave my beard, babe. I can't be Jason Momoa.
Clean shaven Jason Momoa. Anyway,
I bet he'd be really good like as a comedian because he would do like really good impressions and just like stretch his face to be like
Trump. It's really just his face changing.
Well, like
he can't do the voices at all.
Yeah, maybe his impressions aren't like quite there. Like if he tries to like do a Trump or whatever, but he can make himself really look like a Trump. Mm-hmm. They should do that, dude. They need to make an anthology where like superheroes have like an improv night and they do like stand up. I think that'd be fun.
I could see that being like April Fool's like one shot.
Yeah, get like Chip on there. You know?
Yeah, maybe.
There actually was a spectacular Spider-Man thing that I think Spider-Man was in like a improv club and he's like, ooh, I've had a quick five in my back pocket for a little bit. And then he gets like pulled out to go do some action. And I was like, damn it, I would have liked to see that.
That's funny.
So they find out this old lady is also a Doombot with the corpse of the old lady inside of it. And the Doombot that was keeping her alive on life support, like was just trying to keep her alive until she died. And then that Doombot overwrote its own code to adopt her personality. And the civilian Doombots don't ever find out about this old lady's passing. So they think that she's still alive.
Yeah. So it's this whole
which is so insane
of Doombots trying to
like
act like a normal town for this other person who's trying to act like a normal old lady.
It's so fucking good.
And that it's kind of crazy that like this Doombot's like, oh, I'll just put it inside of meat to like keep it alive.
I'm sure that made sense because you could
Which
like
is
give her
nuts.
life support or whatever, give her nutrients, maybe whatever.
Yeah, because like these things, like they're programmed to like adapt. You know, I don't think they're sending like progress reports to Doom or
Yeah.
whatever. So that they just thought that was like the best thing for survival or whatever.
Yeah, and what's crazy is that the Doombots were worried about Mary, like the old lady, noticing that no one was dying, and so they would program themselves to emulate death. And like they would overload their own circuits to like actually die.
Yeah,
and
they
so
were,
there are
like,
people
buried.
in coffins buried that were robots that like actually like pretty much killed themselves to like for the bit, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is such a good like just one-off story.
Yeah, like these were like my favorite because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, these are so like self-contained.
Well, yeah,
you
what
know,
an
and-
insane idea.
And the concepts in this are nuts.
And like this panel where they take off the Doombot's face to reveal like Mary's like skeleton still inside of there. I'm like, damn, this is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
And so they
there's still like little hairs that she's got.
And they also explained that like inherently coded in them is to like fight like Reed and Sue because
Yeah.
they're like Fantastic Four. So they end up getting into a big fight with the whole town. Reed EMPs all the Doombots, but then he just kind of decides to let them keep living, and so he alters each Doombot to just take out like the kill the Fantastic Four like part of the code, and he just like leaves them alone in this town to just like forever be Doombots living a society, I guess.
Yeah, they're just like existing, and we just know now that there's a town of Doombots somewhere.
Yeah, and it's just like
which I love.
just like let them be. They're not trying to do anything. They're just trying to be normal, you know?
Yeah,
Which is so fun. How do
And-
they
insane.
It's insane. I guess I was going to say how do they like get kids, you know, but I guess they just like build them
Make them.
and then they're like you're a kid now.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, if this old lady sees like this kid, you know, in the park or something, but over like years, like, does it get bigger somehow?
Upgrade parts.
Does it upgrade parts, or like maybe it's like,
Like in robots.
or maybe it's like collapsed and it like expands slowly. You know,
That would be insane.
you know,
Like
and
it's
so-
full size but until it springs out.
yeah, so that like there's some continuity there for this old lady.
Mm-hmm.
That's like not a detail that would matter or be interesting in this, but it's something.
But this idea is so fleshed out that it like makes you think about how like everything would work.
yeah, and they could just kind of function as like a little society and like
Yeah.
keep them.
Self-contained.
They have jobs. And
yeah,
stuff, and
there's a whole economy.
they go buy shit and
yeah.
which is funny.
So like but there's still normal people in this town, I guess too, right? Cuz that cop was normal.
Was he
Yeah, that's why they turned back into like civilian looking people.
fuzzy? Was he?
Fuzzy was he?
Yeah. Okay. So
I
so
guess
it's
there's
not
normal
100%,
people. Yeah.
but that's crazy. Can you imagine? You just marry a Doombot.
This is a TV show in itself.
Like
Like the pilot episode is just this cop, and he's like,
I was
"You're a
thinking
fucking
like,
robot."
what if like your best friend's a robot? Like, no. What if you married a Doombot?
Dude,
you
he
know?
could have married a Doombot.
Oh man.
It's insane. Give me a book on that cop.
Yeah. He like and
Ryan
like
North.
he never actually has like a kid. He just she just like births a little Doombot.
Yeah,
You know,
pretty much.
it's like put in her prior, and then it just expands and is ejected.
This guy never knows.
Yeah,
Insane.
I love
Or
it.
maybe he was a Doombot, and it was a normal person before, but then that Doombot took over that person, just like they did with
It's
the
like
old
the
lady.
same thing.
Yeah, same
I
thing.
feel like she would have like
so there could be like a bunch of dead people.
because like the diner attacks them, right?
Yeah.
But why didn't the cop? You know,
The cop didn't because he's normal.
so like
He thinks that he's
an
normal.
actual person.
Yeah, and
Doesn't
actual.
everyone think they're normal?
No. They all know that Doombot's doing a bit to like.
So the cop is a human.
That's what it's supposed to be. But now my
Okay.
new theory is that this person who was a normal person before is now a Doombot like Mary, but thinks that they're actually a person.
I like the theory, but I don't think so because I think that only applies to Mary. We're
Yeah,
going very deep
fair.
on this. We need to keep going.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Issue 3.
Issue 2, very good. Issue 3, this is Johnny Storm. Is that his name? Johnny Storm issue.
Yeah.
He's still in New York. He's being the Human Torch illegally by day, and his job, he takes on his persona, Jonathan Fairweather. I don't even know where he works. It's like some grocery store or something, Shoptastic, something like that.
Yeah.
And the workers there, including Johnny, are underpaid and overworked because the workers there are undocumented. And so the Human Torch goes to talk to the big boss, Mr. Merrill, who is ex-Magia.
Yeah.
Love seeing some Magia stuff.
He's got a Hulk Hogan mustache now.
He does.
And
yeah.
he dyes his hair jet black.
He does not look right with black hair.
No.
I'm like, this is weird and gross, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I do love the design when he's like Human Torch, though. Like the flames and shit around him look so good.
Yeah, it's like half like retro Human Torch and half like current.
Yeah.
Oh, there actually are retro pages.
Yeah, which I really enjoy.
Which are really fun.
Because, yeah, there's like a flashback because Mr. Merrill knows Human Torch from like before. Like they've run into each other before at some point.
Yeah.
And so Mr. Merrill knows that Human Torch won't hurt him. And so they like have a fist fight. And Mr. Merrill like hits him because Human Torch can control his flame enough to where he like doesn't want to burn him because that won't look good, you know? And so Human Torch leaves. He later reveals himself as the Human Torch to his coworkers, and then they unionize against Mr. Merrill.
And they like totally knew.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we know you talk about Human Torch all the time.
Yeah, and you like, and shit magically gets welded fixed.
Yeah,
you know?
there's a thing that like could have blown up that he just like welded shut with his hand. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it was like a fucking water heater or something.
Yeah. And so Merrill then gets trapped like in a room with Human Torch while the workers search like Mr. Merrill's desk for incriminating evidence and shit. And then Mr. Merrill gets arrested. And then Johnny gets a call from Reed and Sue about a big thing, like rock patterned dome that just appeared somewhere. So they got to go investigate it.
I wrote the thing is a mountain.
Yeah.
Because you kind of look like that.
It does look like that. But yeah, I like this idea that Human Torch is just thinking about not burning this dude. You know,
Yeah.
like he can control the heat of like his flames around him. And so Mr. Merrill is just able to like have a normal like fist fight with him and not like get hurt at all. And I think that's interesting.
Yeah, and I like how it kind of gets to reality. Like if this like group breaks up, he'd like have to get a job, you know?
Yeah, I like that too.
And I think that's funny.
Like he doesn't just have money like
Yeah.
left over. He just has to get a job. And yeah, these throwback pages, super fun because it has like that old design where he just looks like a meat man or something, but just flames around him.
Oh, yeah.
So those are fun. And I like the message just like of this issue too, because it's about like unionizing and like how it works
Yeah.
clearly. And like there's a good example of that with like the writers and actors strike. So I think it's just kind of cool. It's a good message there. Issue 4. We see finally what caused that like explosion in New York. And we see that it was caused by Reed and it wasn't actually an explosion. But there was like a weird alien invasion that the Fantastic Four were fighting off. But when it became too much for them to like handle, Reed made the call to time travel the alien flock to that same point in space, but 6 months later, so that they pop out in space. And that block of the city would be like transported and returned back in the exact same spot a year from then. Except like Ben and Alicia's kids were in there, and I think Reed and Sue's kids were also in there too, along with like everybody else that was kind of just in the block in New York at the time. And so the thing obviously blows up at Reed, and then they break up for a little bit. So they just have to like wait a year for their kids to come back, pretty much.
Yeah. At first I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was like, I'm on Reed's side. And then they explained it a little bit more. And like,
I'm like, ooh.
and then Ryan North like gave like concrete like shit about how that would affect like other people's lives that were like in this. Like kids are getting orphaned for like only a year, and they have to be like in orphan programs for a year. Like people's assets are being frozen and shit.
Yeah.
It's like they got like snapped from like the MCU, but like they
Yeah.
know that they're coming back. And so it's very interesting, like flesh out some of those ideas too.
They got blipped.
Yeah. And it's a crazy way to like separate the kids from a story.
Yeah.
Because I think Ryan North just didn't want to deal with the kids.
And it's like, I don't know what to fucking
He's
do
like,
this.
let me-
It kind of makes sense because then he can like kind of build his run rather than like building off of what's already in canon, you know?
He like found a way to get rid of him, but not kill him. And I respect
Yeah.
that.
Definitely. Could have been like a flashback thing, I guess, of old missions or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think this works. It makes sense. I didn't know Reed can just like have like as many hands as he wants.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a fucking minute.
I guess he's just stretching his skin.
Is his nipple on there somewhere?
His nipple's probably on there somewhere. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's like on a pinky or
He's got
something.
yeah, it's on like his elbow.
Yeah. I think that's fun.
So my only thing with like, you know, how it's going like 1 year because the Earth will be in like the same place and like the
relative to the sun. Yeah.
and the revolution to the sun.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that the universe is always expanding.
Mm-hmm.
And so the sun will be moving away from the center of the universe as well. So therefore the earth would also be moving.
He does account for that.
He does.
Like
Okay. I didn't catch that bit.
He kind of uses that as a constant and then points to the sun as like their point of reference, basically.
Yeah.
So since the sun is moving away from the center of the universe at the same rate as the earth is, kind of.
Well, it's supposed to be going faster, like the further away you get from the center. So it's like it's somewhat like progressive.
I think
faster.
the idea is that it'll come back in the same. It'll get like blipped back in like the same coordinates relative to the sun in a year from now.
Okay. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, because like they were talking about how like that's kind of like how time travel works. Is like that they have to account for that. It's just like you being in the same space, or knowing what space to go to necessarily. Yeah, which I like to think about.
Yeah, I like to think about it too. Like that's
because it's like hard. I'm like you think it would be much simpler than that, but it's not.
You think time travel and teleportation would be so much simpler.
Yeah,
but yeah, you do have to think about that. Like if he fucks up a little bit, like they could just be suffocated in the ground. You know?
Yeah, they could be in the ground, or they could be like in space somewhere.
Even worse. Yeah. So it's but I like that. Ryan North clearly thought about how this would kind of work, you know?
I didn't even know Ben and Alicia had kids.
I didn't know that either. They have like a weird...
They have like a blue and green kid.
Which, I don't know how that happened.
One looks like Gamora or something.
Yeah.
Or like a scroll. I don't know.
And one looks like Yondu.
Ooh. Yeah, so maybe adopted, I assume.
Yeah, that could be the case. They seem like the type of people to do that.
I thought it was just like the Baxter building, but it's like a block.
Yeah, it's like a whole block. So people are just like, and they won't even realize either, which is
it'll feel like nothing to them.
Yeah,
but they'll be just like a year gone.
Yeah, which is crazy. Really good fight scene though. Like it's just fun seeing like people's like powers used in unique ways, and like just seeing Iban Coelho just kind of like go all out with like big fantastic Mr. Fantastic fists and shit. So. Very fun. So anyway, that's what happened. That's why they split up. But in the present, Ben and Alicia are at the center of the dome, and they're like incubating in like this egg thing.
This alien cocoon.
Yeah, cocoon. And it's like some parasite that is growing off of Ben's matter. So that's why it looks like a big thing dome.
It's from Space Parasite, which is something they've dealt with before, I guess.
Oh, really? Okay. So they knew.
Let me look it up.
Meanwhile, Ben and Alicia are dreaming about the day that they lost their kids because of Reed, but this dream is like a worse version of that day. And it's like escalating, and they're like, oh yeah, you won't see your kid for like 10 years or like 100 years or whatever. So when they get broken out.
This is the space parasite. His name's Randau or something. And I guess...
it looks kind of familiar, actually.
Yeah, I know. So that has something to do with it, I guess.
Gotcha.
I assume.
But they managed to break the thing in Alicia out, and then Reed apologizes, and then the Fantastic Four makes up.
Dude, his eye can stretch out of his skull.
That is disgusting.
I don't like that. Like, it doesn't even make sense.
Like, what is that? What is the fucking shit? The eye stem or whatever.
His keychain?
Yeah, his eye keychain. He can just like throw it out at somebody if he wants. And I think he's like also manipulating his eye so that he can see on like a microscopic level. Which
I don't know about all that.
I can see how that works because a lens is just like a different like concentration. And like our eyes have lenses in them, so I could see how that works.
And then he can like turn
but it's very creative.
So they're trying to cut them out of the cocoons, and he turns his hands into like knives.
I think that's so cool.
I'm like, what the fuck? Can these like harden and like actually be sharp?
Sure, why not? I mean, he's punching people with his big hands.
I'm like, all right, man.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's cool.
The thing that I appreciated, but I don't know if I necessarily liked in this, is that Reed is like actually a nerd.
I like that.
Yeah, he's like very dorky in this.
If you're trying to read through this book fast, it's like not gonna makes it hard, you know, but I like because he clearly has that voice, you know.
Yeah, he's like talking like a scientist. He's not talking like just like everyone else or anything, which I think like the Maker does more. But like, and he like goes up on these tangents because he's like thinking, you know.
Yeah,
and he's not translating things very much, and his social cues aren't necessarily as inept as others.
Yeah, like a fucking nerd.
Yeah, so he's a fucking dweeb, and then we got everyone else.
Yeah, but I feel like everybody's voice like is nailed in this. So like Johnny Storm's pretty cocky. The Thing, you know, he's all clunky. Very fun.
And then they get a group hug.
They get a nice group hug, and they're like, oh, you know what? No one's really the bad guy here, except for Reed is kind of, but we forgive him.
A part of me wishes like the Thing kind of felt like a Nerf football, because he'd be way better for group hugs,
Yeah.
rather than hugging this like boulder of a man.
He's probably cold,
Yeah, he is probably cold.
But very nice scene. They threw in there that like the parasite makes them more emotional, and I was like,
Okay.
I don't know if you need that, because time spent away would probably make them miss each other or whatever. So you don't really need like the excuse of, oh, the parasite makes me emotional, so that we
I
can
didn't
actually
pick
talk
up on
about our
that.
emotions. Yeah, I just thought it was a weird thing to throw in there.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a big happy family again. Sometimes family's hard, and you gotta fight or whatever, and then make up later.
That's what Thanksgiving's all about.
That's what Thanksgiving is. Yeah, you're gonna fight with your family.
And you're just going to still show up on the same day every year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So issue 5, the Fantastic Fours.
This Chris Pichello cover is super sick.
Oh, dude, I know. He's so good.
I love it. And then, Alex Ross being cool. Anyway, for the...
This is like a funky one for him, too.
I don't think I know him that well, but I like what he
Alex
does.
Ross?
No. Oh, no. I like talking about Chris Pichello.
No, I'm talking about the Alex Ross one.
Yeah, no, this is cool. It's like black and white, and then it's like trippy,
Yeah.
and
You haven't seen Pichello stuff that much?
I
He's done
think
some Spider-Man. He's
I
done
need
some
like
X-Men. He's done probably an event.
I need like a refresher kind of thing. Like I need to know like what runs he did, and then like maybe if I saw the cover, I remember.
Okay.
It doesn't look super familiar.
I've been aware of
But
his
the
stuff
thing,
for a while.
but what I was saying about the Thing is like everyone just kind of draws it their own way.
Yeah.
With the back matter, it goes crazy. With like some of the Thing drawings.
There's some good ones in there.
Yeah. And there's a shit ton.
Yeah, there is.
We'll get to that.
People have fun with it, which is interesting because it's such a simple design. But anyway,
The Fantastic Four, they're stuck in traffic.
they're on a road trip.
And someone fixed the Thing's eyebrow bone.
Yeah. There's an artist change here. So
Yeah, this is
Ivan Fiorella
Fiorelli.
for Fieri. Ivan Fiorelli. Yeah.
Fiorelli, yeah.
So they're on a road trip. They're trying to go to like Aunt Sally's or something. I don't know why, but since the Thing has like a normal car, they can't just like have the Fantastic car fly them away. So yeah, they're stuck in traffic.
Yeah, why are they going there? And it's Aunt Petunia.
It's not Aunt Sally. Oh yeah, Aunt Petunia. Yeah, you're right. So they're on a road trip in traffic, and the Fantastic Four encounters the Salem 7, which is like a villain group. And while they're fighting them, they get locked into a spell that turns them all like abstract and shit for a little bit. But then it ends, and they don't feel any different.
This is a
they're
sick
like,
double page spread.
this was an amazing double page spread.
It's like artwork, It's
I
like
want-
interpretive artwork.
I want this, I might take a screenshot of this and like have it as my screen background. Like it's so fun.
I just like the Thing's foot in like the upper.
Oh shit, yeah. That's so fun.
But yeah, it's just like
Made
very
it
very
turn them
trippy.
like all abstract and like weird. But it ends and they're like, well, we feel fine and we're back to normal.
Yeah, then the bad
so-
guys just leave or
Yeah,
whatever.
and the villains retreat back into the dark dimension after that. And the Fantastic Four are confused, but they're like, whatever, let's like keep going. I love a Hawaiian shirt on the Thing.
Yeah, top tier.
So good. I love his sense of fashion.
I'm just glad he can, find things his size and still be still have the drip.
He's got to have them custom made, surely, right? Or just like go shop at one of those sites that have like
They have like big and tall stuff,
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
They get pretty big. I don't know. He's probably pretty wide too.
Yeah.
Though.
The gang stops for food, and everyone except Alicia immediately shits it out from food poisoning or something. And they decipher that the spell made them incapable of digesting regular food. So they discover that they will eventually starve if they don't get this spell like fixed.
Yeah, there's like actual science in this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, here we go.
It's like molecular structure got like flipped, and yeah, there's a pretty good explanation. I'm not going to try and
so
go into
I got
it.
to this pit like right before going to bed, and as soon as I saw like
The
a
explanation.
chalkboard, I'm like, all right, I'm stopping right here.
That's a good stopping
I'm
place.
not going to be able to comprehend what's happening right now.
Yeah. So, but basically, like they're just incompatible with like regular food, so they're going to starve eventually.
Yeah, something about their molecules being like a reflection of themselves or whatever.
And so they can't digest, I guess. But I can totally see Reed Richards being a talker while pooping. Like they mentioned that while they're all like shitting out their lunch.
Yeah, I should figure out what's happening.
Yeah. But Dana, what's your ideal road trip food?
Road trip food, like
Because they're on a road
like-
trip. They
like
stop
you-
to get food.
Oh, so what you make a stop for?
Yeah. Like if you have to stop, you're like 5 hours into a road trip. What's the ideal thing to get?
I think just McDonald's.
I was thinking that too.
Like get some nugs.
It's easy.
Some fries, maybe a Big Mac.
McDonald's always gets it done,
It sure does.
It's always pretty consistent.
Nothing like too greasy to where you have to just use the bathroom immediately.
Yeah.
On the way to California, I feel like In-N-Out always hits the spot because once you're
does.
there and like you cross the border, there's like an In-N-Out on like the right.
Yeah, they know.
And yeah, they're like, you need to stop here.
You've been traveling.
Right. And it doesn't even taste any different than like In-N-Out here, but like you're still like, here we are.
Yeah. Those are my exact answers.
I think most of the time Sarah's like a huge snacker. Like she'll buy more snacks than we need. It's like snacks for like 4 people.
Yeah. Yep.
But I always get like some sort of like pretzel thing.
For a snack?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like carbs and shit's like really good for like motion sickness and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So like
Good strat.
yeah, like Gardettos. Have you ever had those?
What is it?
Gardettos.
Mm-mm.
It's kind of like Chex Mix, but like just better. It's
Okay.
like it's like the
Like better quality.
better quality. Yeah.
Okay. Like
It's like the
ingredients.
Cadillac of Chex Mix.
Okay, I gotcha.
And they have
Understand.
like a honey mustard flavor that is nuts. And I'll
Okay.
knock out a bag of that like every flight, It's become a part of my routine
Yeah.
for
You
like
gotta get those.
tummy aches.
Sophie gets like Takis,
That's madness.
which is insane because she can't handle it either.
Yeah.
And so she's eating and then she's like sniffling and shit. She's like dying. And I'm like, you're making this harder on yourself. And then she like never finishes it either. Or like hot Cheetos. She'll do that too. I do like Lifesaver gummies.
Very good, yeah.
I do like those.
I love the lightsaber mints, like the white ones. They have
Yeah.
those at my work, and they're
Those are
the
solid.
best.
Yeah, they're pretty good. But I don't know if I have a consistent like snack. Because I feel like if you get like a big M&M's bag, like you could overdo that pretty easily.
Yeah.
And I've never been big on like sunflower seeds or anything like that.
I'm not good at it.
Yeah, me
You know?
neither. I know. There's like a strategy and I just don't
I always
wanna,
get shards and like I never get the seed out.
I don't want to practice the craft,
Yeah, and yeah, it's like it's something you have to like learn.
And I don't know how people are so good at it.
yeah,
they just know.
they'll get like a fucking handful and dump it in
I
their
know,
mouths and
and I'm
just
like-
spit them out one at a time.
I'm like, you must be a good kisser.
This guy eats ass. Like,
He doesn't mind.
yeah.
Holy shit.
Anyway,
So they're like, we need to fix this. We got to go get those guys. And so they travel to the dark dimension to reverse it. And Reed knows what's going on. So he does reverse it. And then back in their dimension, Johnny tries to burn some foreign bacteria, but he misses some, which could be detrimental to the environment. But insane visuals in this part.
yeah, super trippy.
Because Reed has to like connect to the 4th dimension or whatever to like, he's got to like figure out how to reverse this thing that was done in like a spell. And so you just see him do like this insane optical illusion shit.
He goes
like, a
all like
stretchy
God
hands.
mode or something.
And like, I don't really know what he does, but he makes these like finger cubes and he does that around everybody. But
Yeah.
you could still see his like fingernails and shit as part of those cubes, which I think is pretty funny.
yeah, pretty gross.
Yeah. But yeah, an insane page. So pretty cool. Does he have stretchy clothes?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Most of the time, every shirt looks like a crop top,
Yeah.
which is funny.
So yeah, good page. Good couple pages. And yeah, that's issue 5. And then issue 6.
I don't like when the thing calls Reed Stretcho.
Yeah, it's not very clever.
He might have said that a lot back in the day, which I get, but it just doesn't like roll off the tongue.
Stretcho.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like it doesn't feel like a coherent sentence. or
Even with
whatever.
like his like, twang. I
Yeah.
feel like it wouldn't be like that effective.
Yeah. Anyway,
They find out pretty quickly that they missed some of the dark dimension bacteria when they stumble on a green lake. They find out that they can burn the bacteria, but they can't really guarantee that they got all like of it, like every trace of it. And they discover that the bacteria could just continue replicating and just take over the planet eventually. And so they're like, well, shit, what do we do? And it's kind of cool seeing the Fantastic Four in a situation that they can't like punch their way out of.
yeah,
Because it's like, well, shit, we did this, so we got to fix it. But
they
how
tried.
are we supposed to do
they
that?
tried taking out all the marine life and then like boiling the water
Mm-hmm.
to just below like boiling or whatever. And after that, Johnny Storm just went into the lake, and I guess he can absorb heat as well, which is a new power for him, at least for me.
Yeah, I didn't know that he could do that, but I accept.
Sure.
Yeah.
And anyway, we'll get to more of that, but like, so they come to the conclusion that bacteria can die like when there's no sunlight or whatever. So they're like, oh, let's just block the sun in this state in Kansas.
In the state and surrounding states, because they don't know how fast it's replicated. So to really make sure.
For 3 days.
For 3 days. And
so this kind of went on for a little bit. Like,
yeah. And they have to do it quick. And so they can't really coordinate with like local government and stuff. And so they go up there, they block the sun. Meanwhile, Alicia has to like, Reed and Ben, they like try to like tell everybody what's going on. And they just like have to do damage control pretty much in there, while Sue and Johnny just get to like hang out in space.
Well, I don't even know if she blocks it. They said like she makes the sun invisible to the earth or something. And so,
which is what I don't understand. So is she making like an invisible disc in space that's just big enough to create a shadow or something?
Something like that, I guess.
So she can make herself invisible, right? Which is just,
and she can make other people invisible. Like she makes Reed invisible,
which is like light passing through you, right? And so I would think that her skill set doesn't allow the ability to block sunlight. You know,
I didn't think about it that hard.
I guess like if you really want to think about it, she can manipulate like rays of light.
I guess if she can determine what people see when looking at one side of something, she can do that with like the sun.
The opposite,
yeah.
I guess.
But anyway, so she's up there in the Fantastic Car, which does fly, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe, and then fucking Johnny's up there like with her. And so he's like
just
also using like his powers to like, you know, maintain heat in there and also keep it cool in there because he can just
you just do that.
He's just like an AC unit. Or
he'd be so good on a road trip.
Yeah, he'd be pretty clutch.
Sometimes they're like too cold or too hot.
Yeah.
And so some villains like take advantage of the situation in like these random ass states that Reed and the Thing have to stop. But the plan eventually works. And then when Johnny and Sue come back from space, they're arrested by Maria Hill because she's like, what the fuck? You can make the whole Earth extinct if you really wanted to. So we got to arrest you.
And then they run.
And honestly, I think Maria Hill's being pretty valid.
Yeah, I get
this because that's pretty fucking scary what they did just on a whim.
Yeah.
So
there's this bit where they go up to space and then Alicia, the Thing, and Reed, they go to just like some press conference thing.
Yeah.
And interrupt somebody. And Reed just like does this disturbing thing where he stretches out his arms. He looks like a sugar glider. And like,
oh yeah.
I'm like, he's got these flappy looking arms in order to like stop people from stopping Alicia from being on TV or whatever.
Looks disgusting, yeah.
Pretty gross. I just want to see him flap, you know.
What if he flies that way? Has he ever done that? Surely. Like a flying squirrel?
Yeah. If any writer had the spirit of a child, yes.
Okay, good.
I feel like I'd have a lot of fun with a stretchy character like him.
Yeah.
I'd put him in all the situations where he'd have to use his powers.
Yeah, like stretching. I think the most famous example is when in like the movie he's like getting toilet paper for himself.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
Or like when he like puts his hand on the ground and he goes like under the door hinge.
That would be so nice. I remember thinking that, but like I've never been in a situation where I'm like, man, I wish I could just reach under and grab it. But
every time I shave, I think of that scene where he pulls his cheek and then like shaves it.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, he's getting all the bits.
He's getting as close of a shave as possible.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's like the end of the trade. So yeah, it's very clearly like an ongoing series, but I think this is like a really strong start for like an ongoing.
Next, the Fantastic Fugitives.
Yeah.
Very good.
Very good.
But
so
yeah.
Let's go into some back matter matters.
Back matter matters.
And we got Alex Ross, baby.
Yes, sir. These kind of look like toys. These are like toy variants.
Dude, that's how good he like renders. No, they're just like regular variants.
Are they?
But yeah, the like lighting is so strong that he like made it look like action figures or something.
Yeah, especially with like the black and white. It's like, he still does really well with that.
Yeah, I like that he's getting funky and like pretty neon with the colors.
I think that's something you just like have to do.
Eventually, yeah.
you can only do every single character in your style
Realistically,
once, you know?
yeah. And then we got some pretty crazy talent doing covers as well. So we got J. Scott Campbell. We have Frank Miller, who did The Thing. Mm-hmm. What do you think of the Frank Miller one?
It's probably my least favorite, but I do appreciate it.
I like it.
It's a little too blocky.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't seem rocky, really.
Yeah,
it's
a lot of squares. It's kind of like how he does like why are these bits like around him?
Yeah, why is there debris coming
breaking
off
of him?
Is he shedding like little pebbles?
Is he susceptible to like erosion too?
Maybe that's like dandruff, and that's just like gravel coming off of him.
Gross.
We got a Jack Kirby variant, I guess. I don't really know the history behind this one. So
Johnny Storm looks like a little bitch.
Yeah, he does. He's got weak ass arms.
Yeah.
And Art Adams.
So this is another design that some people do where like his eyebrows are just like a dome that go into the rest of his head.
Yeah, like the top of his head is a dome that ends at his eyebrows.
He looks like the Beatles, like one of the Beatles. if they were turned into the Thing.
I like his blocky lips. That's pretty cool.
Good lips.
We get then some Iban Coelho a cover, a Phil Noto cover, which is really fun.
Fire.
I love seeing him do stuff.
It's like future Fantastic Four.
Yeah, and then another Phil Noto. There's a Peach Momoko cover in here that is so good.
That's awesome, yeah.
Yeah, she crushes it every time, and I like his big-ass chin.
Big chin for the win.
Big chin for the Thing. John Cassaday, pretty cool. Phil Jimenez.
Furry variant,
yeah. Which is bizarre. And Carrie Andrews, we got some. So pretty good covers. And then more Alex Ross stuff. There's one with like a scroll, a super scroll, I think. Don't know what that's about. But yeah, just covers. So what would you rate this book, Daniel?
Nathan, I rate it The Thing popsicle.
Yeah, we're hitting all the popsicles.
Yeah,
I think we've done all of them now.
We probably have. I don't know if we've done like a Batman or
there's a Superman popsicles.
Or SpongeBob.
Oh, SpongeBob comics.
Dude, we gotta read the fucking Francesca Francavilla SpongeBob comics.
Yes.
Or children's books. But
it's a children's book, but what
done by a
works.
comic artist, so basic comics.
Yeah, 100%.
But we will get to those.
That's a good rating.
We'll have to do like a crime month and then like have SpongeBob in there.
Is it a crime book?
Yeah, he's like a detective.
Wow.
It's like a noir SpongeBob book.
Oh my God, we need to do a crime noir month.
I have it written down.
Because how many crime noir books have we actually done?
It's like fucking one.
What was it?
Pulp.
Oh yeah. I guess Powers is kind of, but
yeah,
it's also like superhero. We need to do like authentic type shit. Anyway, I would rate this a turkey key.
Ooh, very good.
Since it's Thanksgiving, and that's a turkey within a turkey.
Yeah.
You know, made very well. It hits the spot, and you get some stuffing if you like that, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like a nice big plate, and it's like you barely fit everything on there, you know?
You know, I'm waiting for the Fantastic Four book that we read where I give them the Cajun style turkey from Popeyes that they sell around Thanksgiving. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
It looks delicious. I've never had it, but I want to.
Dude, it'd be so good.
Fire. It's just like a shit ton of like Cajun seasoning or whatever.
Yeah.
But.
So mine's like a big plate of all the Fantastic Four stuff, but you eat some of the stuff individually, kind of like how the beginning of this, you know, it's like the individual people. And at the end, when it gets like all messy and it's just kind of mixed up anyway, then you eat it together. And it's still very good. It's a good experience overall.
You make like a Thanksgiving burrito.
Yeah, pretty much. You just mix all that shit in there. So yeah, really good. I love Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I'm always like very happy when I read them.
Yeah.
You know?
Because we did like Future Foundation last year, didn't we?
Yeah.
Hickman?
Yeah, still a fun one, even though Hickman was writing it.
Yeah.
You know?
But this one feels like just like regular Fantastic Four, you know, adventure type stuff. Just done really well. So it's very satisfying.
Mm-hmm. So let's get into the pull list.
Shove it in your turkey.
Shove your comics in your turkey. The pull list. What did you shove in your box?
Dan, what did you pick up this week?
I think we're doing Cap Wolf number 2.
Okay.
I think the Animal Pound,
Yep.
Ashcan came out.
Yep. I picked that up.
Okay. We got the...
So it's an ash can?
Yeah,
So does that mean that like the first issue will come out later?
December.
Why would they do that?
Because they hate you.
I guess so. So do I pick up the first issue when that comes out?
Don't know.
I'll read it and see if the full thing's in there, I guess. But it's lame.
It'll probably tell you like buy the number one. Because why would they do
sometimes
that?
ash cans are like the full first issue, but it's not like all colored completely.
That's insane.
And normally it's like a different size, but this is like a full size comic. Like an ash can can be like a little small one, so it's like cheaper to print.
Yeah.
Keep people interested or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But this is weird. Anyway, keep going.
The Man from Maybe, number 2.
What was that again?
Shaky Kane's
Oh, the Shaky Kane stuff,
new
yeah.
book, yeah. And then I believe The Deviant.
Yeah, the
just
Deviant did come out.
Do you realize that that's 9 issues?
Why not make it 12 and just go back to next Christmas?
Basically, like, that's insane. Like, I don't even think the trade will be out by next Christmas if you wanted to do it next year.
Will. Maybe that's why they did that.
Maybe. Assuming it's, like, all on time. Mm-hmm. But it seemed like it'd be, like, a 4-issue mini or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of expecting. So hopefully
Like,
it's good.
We're going to be reading, like, Christmas comics in, like, July or June at least, you know?
Yeah. I like that. It'll carry me it'll carry me over.
Be jolly all year.
Exactly.
What'd you get?
Animal Pound, Ash Can, the Deviant. I picked up Big Game number 5. The ending.
Did that come out? Okay.
Yep. And then Green Lantern number 5 as well came out.
Okay.
So I picked that up.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Did you watch anything new?
I watched Five Nights at Freddy's,
Oh, yeah?
the movie.
How'd that go?
It's pretty good.
Yeah?
I don't really know anything about it. Sophia knows a lot about it, which I didn't know. And she was telling me the lore and what all the characters' names were. Like the animatronics. They're
Yeah.
like, this one's Chica. And I'm like, cool. And then
Great.
things would happen. And she's like, that's not how it's supposed to be. Or whatever. So like she's like very knowledgeable. And I was like, how do you know all this? But I guess she was into
There's
it.
like an hour-and-a-half YouTube video you can watch.
I think that's
to get
what
all
she
caught
did.
up on it.
That's surely what she did. Because she doesn't like
No
jump scares.
shot she played that game.
I was about to
that
say, yeah,
shit's
like,
terrifying.
It's terrifying, and she doesn't like jump scares, and that's all that game is.
Yeah.
So, but she really knows the lore. I guess she likes the idea. But the movie itself, pretty strong.
okay.
Like actually,
yeah, I've heard like both ends of the spectrum, and it's either you hate it or you love it kind of thing. No
Yeah.
one seemed to be in the middle.
I think if you don't know anything about it, like it's a pretty good movie still.
Okay.
Like I didn't know anything about it, and I felt like I knew everything I needed to know.
When did you go see that?
I didn't go to see it. It's like on streaming.
Oh, right.
'Cause I have Peacock
Right.
to watch Parks and Rec because
Yeah.
they monopolized.
Yo, drop that login.
Okay, well, but yeah, I liked it. I think because use the Jim Henson's puppet like studio thing.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of cool. I didn't know that until I saw the credits, but I was like, cool.
Yeah, because weren't they all puppets or something?
I think a lot. You could tell that like parts of it were CGI, but like there were parts of it where I'm like, I think those are actual big fucking animatronic things or whatever, like walking around.
That's awesome.
And so it was really cool, very off-putting,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, super fun.
Cool.
And Josh Hutcherson, pretty good.
I forgot he was a thing.
Matthew Lillard, pretty good in it as well.
I just
He
like
plays a small role, but I like
think
seeing
it's-
him.
the best thing to come out of that movie was like that meme about him. I think it's from that movie. Is like, to be honest, your options are pretty limited.
Oh yeah. The hours are worse, and the hours are bad. The pay is worse. kind
Yeah.
of stuff. So yeah, I liked it. And I also watched the Loki season finale.
Yeah, dude.
Did you watch it?
Yep. What do you think?
I thought it was good. I like the season better than season 1. And people are saying season 1's better. And I think that's crazy. But
I think pound for pound, episode for episode, it's better. You know,
Let's
because
go.
I think first season. I think first season, like,
Oh, you think
the
first season's better?
episodes are stronger. You know, and then season 2 as a whole, it might be stronger, but I think it kind of dips.
yeah.
There's like strong episodes in it.
Yeah. I think it like ended really like it's clear that they had like a vision for this and like what they wanted to do, and they like stuck to it,
Yeah.
and it worked really well. You know, just I guess spoilers for that if you haven't seen it yet, but like Loki, it's like the end of Loki's story pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's done in a very creative way where he's being like doing the ultimately like most unselfish thing that you can, pretty much, and you're just going to be like alone for forever, so that everybody else in different, timelines and shit can live. So pretty cool. He's got his big hat on for forever. Big horns.
Yeah, he's like it's cool because it like the multiverse replicates like the tree of life or whatever.
Yggdrasil.
Yeah, that guy.
Which is weird because I think we've seen the life tree or whatever they call it normally.
Yeah.
In one of the Thor movies, but it just like replicates that, I guess. Did you see the theory that Loki is a time stone?
I heard a theory that they're trying to make people like stones. Like,
I think it only works for Loki because it's like a time stone.
I think like Scarlet Witch is supposed to be one or something and shit like that.
I guess.
If they're doing that, it seems hard, but
it seems like it's not worth it. But it makes sense for if Loki is, because it's like
it could make that sense that he could have retconned that for the time stone to be green.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well,
I don't know.
If he did retcon it to make it green or whatever, or if it's green now because of him, it would have gone back in time to like the past because he's also managing like past timelines or whatever too, right? So I like that idea. I don't know if they really like are making that concrete or whatever anytime soon, but
it seems like there's like barely enough evidence to make that a video that gets a lot of likes,
Yeah, exactly.
A couple things about these last few episodes. I like how like the universes were like disappearing, like how like it's all
spaghetti.
Like spaghetti. Or whatever. That was really creepy.
It was super creepy. It was very eerie.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that'd be like a nightmare.
Because sometimes it would just be like silent.
It's like the same as like the blip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's cool.
And so that was neat.
I like that whenever he does like a time jump, he does like a big hair flip. Did you ever notice that?
Big time jump.
When he's doing like the weird like shit and he's like jumping time and it like really freaks him out and he does like a
Yeah.
and he like flips his long ass hair back. I was like, I was watching with Sophie and I was like, I love when he does that hair flip. It looks so good. And then I later saw like a compilation of it like somewhere, and I was like, yes, I'm not the only one, because he does it like 20 times.
I love how he's trying to like solve everything, and he just has to like learn physics, and it's like centuries later.
I thought that was kind of dumb. I feel like if I'm in the same situation, I figure it out in like a year.
But no, in order to know everything that like OB knows, you know, who's been around for who knows how long.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I would just be like, okay, I would figure out how to get OB up to speed about what's happening to me. And then I would get him caught up to like where he was in his research. Because OB like figured it out.
You only have like an hour with him, you know?
I know, but I would get him like a little bit further each hour. And then like over the course of like maybe like a year.
But it restarts every time.
It does. But then I would get him caught up to being like, I'm time jumping. And then he seems like pretty chill with that concept. And so that would be like, here's what you found out. Okay, what would you do next kind of deal? And I feel like I could figure it out in like a year, not like a century. Because Loki took it upon himself to like
you're real
learn
big
everything.
Smart guy. I just think it was a funny gag.
It is a funny gag.
Because they were
that's
just
all
like,
it is.
because he's like, oh, it takes centuries to learn what I know. And so
it's like a century later, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good gag, but thinking about it, I'd be like, I'm not trying to learn all this. Like, I'll tell you what you knew already. Because it only took OB like a couple weeks.
If he was taking like a course, yeah, I could probably learn all that in like a year or whatever. But he had to like explain to this dude.
I'm not learning it. I'm telling OB what progress he would have made normally, because they figured out how to do the thing that they were building by himself, and it seemed like it only took like a week or two, you know? And even if it was like a month or whatever,
yeah,
I could get OB up to speed like pretty quick.
Okay.
I like Ki Hui Kwan in this a lot, by the way.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah. I also like Mobius's arc, because the whole like this whole series, he's like, I don't care what my life was. Like, I'm a TVA guy now.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff. And it's just cool, like, seeing that. It was cool seeing, like, his family and stuff. And then it was cool seeing, like, Mobius decide to go live a life. And then he just, like, sees his normal version of himself have a happy family life. I just, like, really liked his whole character arc throughout this.
I loved that thing where Loki goes back to, like, season 1. And he tells that story about the hunter.
Yeah.
And about how, like, this hunter like fucked up and like lives were lost or whatever, and then it like ends up being like him.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, this writing is insane.
It's so good. And they just have like a nice conversation like when they first met. And I'm sure Mobius was like, this is a bit weird. But then they like have a nice handshake. You know? It's pretty cool.
The thing that this show accomplished is like they had like a logical reason for there to be a multiverse now.
Yeah.
Which I think is incredible.
Yeah, I think it's great. They did a good job with that.
There was one. They tried to have multiple. It didn't work. and then they made it work.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
they did a good job of like creating a multiverse.
And also
then,
trying to like prevent it.
Yeah,
in a way.
and then like keeping a multiverse, which is cool.
Yeah.
I thought the Renslayer stuff was a little weak. Like I thought it was a cool idea that like Renslayer was like the actual brains or whatever behind the operation, but then later they just like dropped her off in that weird like storm area from the first season, and I was like, it doesn't really seem like, because remember Renslayer was like the wife or whatever of Kang, and then Miss Minutes is like, you're actually like the smart one here, and Kang isn't actually doing it. And then Renslayer was like, oh, I'll just lead it, you know, for a little bit. So I just thought that like that whole they didn't like give her enough attention for what they were trying to do with her. I feel
I like forgot about her.
Yeah, same.
And it won't feel that significant if she like comes back, you know?
Yeah. So they won't bring her back, I think. I feel like that's the only thing that they did
at it.
Yeah, I know they did, but like if she comes back in like a different movie, people are gonna be like, who the hell's that?
Yeah.
Even me, knowing who she is. So
I've heard some people saying that they think there's gonna be a Loki season 3. And I'm like,
I hope not.
What would you even do with that? Is he just go to these universes that he's holding in his hands?
I hope it's 6 more episodes of him just sitting in the chair.
Yeah.
So do you think he'll be gone for forever for sure?
That would make sense, and I'd like that.
I would like that too, but I could see him coming back.
But
in like a big movie.
Maybe, possibly.
In like a Secret Wars, and they're like, things are fucked up. And I know because I've been holding your timeline for a while.
I liked how he was like reviving the timelines almost, because they looked like they were dying, and he made them all green or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Thor will ever know what happened to him?
No. Because to him, like his brother just died.
Yeah.
And so to me,
because this
like
is like a
different
past version of
this would be like a completely new Loki. I feel like if he met him,
definitely
he'd be like, what kind of fucking trick is this? You know? But Loki is just chilling by himself for who knows how long at this point.
Forever.
But also, he's really good at physics now. So it's like, I hope they don't meet because they're like two different characters.
Yeah.
Seems, so it's interesting.
Yeah. So good show. Where do you rank it now among Marvel shows?
It's interesting because this one has the best ending. I feel like no other Disney Plus show had like a good ending, really, except for like She-Hulk.
So it's your favorite,
dude? Maybe.
Thank you.
But like only season 2. You know?
Wow.
If I just say like the whole show,
totality.
Oh, shit, dude, I don't know.
Is this the only one that has a second season?
Yes. I guess What If will, but
yeah,
feels different. What did I say my favorite show was before? She-Hulk, I guess.
WandaVision.
Oh yeah, WandaVision. That's right. I forgot about that one. Dude, I still really like WandaVision.
Dude,
it didn't end very well though.
Loki I think it's so fire. It is so good. It blows your mind. It's got tons of times.
It's got to be Loki, because if they do something and it like is surprising, they don't just like make a ball joke out of it, you know? Remember when they did that with like Quicksilver? They're like, my name's Harry Balls or whatever.
Whatever. My name is Dick Boner.
Yeah, Dick, it was like something like that. His name was like Boner, and I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess Loki's my favorite show.
Good. All right. Moving on. I finished Gen V.
Cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it is good.
Crazy ending.
Yeah.
I didn't expect like Homelander to drop in. Mm-hmm. I was like, uh-oh.
He looked like he's...
Someone called Dad.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I expected Butcher to show up because that one, like, the one lady that was like ordering... I forget what her name is. I can't remember. The blonde chick? The old blonde chick that like works with Butcher sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I expected Butcher to show up because she like calls someone who's like, yeah, keep an eye on her or whatever. But
he shows up like after the fact.
Yeah.
I like how the media like twists everything that happened.
Yeah.
And then like
Homelander's like the hero, and Homelander is like, yeah, good job, Kate.
He's like, what kind of animal are you? And I'm like, you attack your own kind. And then he's like, no, stop. And shit like that. And I think the biggest thing is like, I'm like, it makes no sense that they made what's his name and Sam and Kate like the heroes of this.
Because no one knows
like,
Sam.
I'm like, they're the most unhinged, and they were literally like trying to destroy everything that you represent.
Yeah.
And you just twist it to make them the heroes here?
Because they need to make the other people look bad that were like trying to leak the woods, you know? But Kate's been kind of advocating for the
also trying to do that?
I'm a little confused by motivations, because she helped Andre find the woods.
Yeah.
Because when they were doing that gala or whatever, Andre took the girl that shrinks, I forget her name, to go find like the woods through that little crack in the wall.
Yeah.
And then there were some guards that find him in like the second or third episode, and then Kate like has the guards like kill themselves pretty much to protect Andre.
And so she was helping, but I think she's trying to like almost like not make it seem like she was helping the other people.
Yeah, she must like feel like what she's doing is wrong, but she still feels like she has to do it. So I was a little conflicted by what her motivations were, but so I like that there's a soup disease. I thought the route that they were gonna go with is that it'll be like super airborne. All the soups are gonna like get sick, and then Vought has like doses of like a cure that will wear off, and so that's how they like control them.
That makes sense.
But I think. So that's what I thought like the headmaster's motivations were going to be. But she just like actually wants to kill them. And that twist that like her family was in the plane crash that Homelander caused.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was cool.
He didn't cause it. He just didn't save them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
But anyway, good show.
Good show.
Could have been a little bit shorter, but you know.
I agree. Yeah.
And then Boys will come out when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And then we saw the Marvels. We
did see the Marvels.
There's plenty to like nitpick about this, but I don't care.
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
I had plenty of fun.
I think I had pretty low expectations going in. I don't really know why.
Which I think you need to.
Yeah, I think you kind of need to because then it helps. But yeah, like they just wanted this to be like a fun movie, you know? And so whatever like accomplishes that is like what they did. And I like that, you know?
Yeah. They make it like somewhat standalone to where like you don't necessarily need to watch all this shit because like there's like recaps and shit.
There's 2 shows that like you would have had to watch if you want to know like everything.
I think there was like bad reception for like Ant-Man and they had like pushed this back probably to like work with it a little bit to make it more like of a casual kind of movie, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think what they did work. So there's less like homework or whatever going into this. But
I thought Kamala, played by Iman Vellani, like carries this.
Absolutely carries.
She was so fun.
She was the heart and soul of this movie.
100%. If she's not here,
hilarious.
If she's not there, this movie's not as good.
This movie would be dog shit.
Yeah, it really would.
Just like the dynamic with like Carol Danvers and Photon.
She's like so excited. And it could have been like cringe. Like she could have been too like much of a fangirl, you know?
She could have, yeah. It could have gone badly.
But I think I just really like that energy of like, I'm just happy to be here, you know?
Yeah.
And she's also, you know, just like she also like doesn't know what she's doing and stuff. So there's like really fun dynamic with Carol, who's been alone and just doing like crazy cosmic shit, to like this high school kid, you know?
Yeah. And it kind of plays into that thing where it's like, oh, it's this young kid who can help, but like no one's letting her help kind of thing. But like as like us as viewers, we know like what she's capable of.
Yeah.
And we're just kind of waiting for her time to shine kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I liked to see.
Yeah, me too.
They even did like a little bit of like an animated bit.
Yeah, from the show.
To kind of introduce her, which is like what happened in the show.
Yeah. They bring like that flavor of the show in to like show how good she's really good at drawing.
Yeah, no.
So that was fun. How do
you feel about the new costumes they got?
Costumes were great.
They were very cool.
I think Photon's was like a little something about it.
Like the white was like too bright somehow.
Dude, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, something about this feels like different from like the rest.
It looked good.
She seemed like a little stiff in it too.
I think the only thing I didn't like was Carol Danvers was like a little bit too like dark.
Yeah, you know? I like that there's a bigger star though.
Bigger star is cool. Mm-hmm. I think I just kind of like her old one really.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job with the old one.
I don't think this is like a replacement, but like a cool like alternate like one you can have, you know? Yeah. Like the NFL. You can have like your alternate jersey.
Yeah, you got a home and an away.
Yeah.
So when she's on Earth, she uses the endgame one.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's clearly some things that they had to change like tonally about some characters.
Yeah.
It's like Nick Fury is just kind of like saying fuck it, like whatever, it'll probably work out kind of feel.
Yeah, like Secret Invasion like didn't happen.
Yeah, like Secret Invasion like what, 2 months ago? That's a very different Nick Fury.
Yeah, know? Like his like whole life didn't just get like destroyed.
Yeah. And here he's just like, I don't know, fuck it, figure it out. Like let's see what. And then like Kamala's parents, I thought were going to be like way less chill about everything that was happening, but they were kind of just like rolling with the punches.
They like weren't very chill about it, but I think it wasn't like too annoying.
It should have been more based off what they established like in the show. Mm-hmm. To me, I'm glad that they like didn't keep it consistent because it just would have been like too much convincing them that like, you know, she has power, she has to do good or whatever.
Yeah.
Like we know the arc there that's like supposed to happen. So it's interesting that they're just like just having a good old time, you know?
Yeah.
Also, it's very dangerous when the fucking Flurkin, what is it? The cat?
Flarkin?
When that cat got transported into Kamala Khan's like house, and there's just Kree people like fucking destroying the whole house, and like the family's just like kind of trying to contribute, but you think they'd be fucking freaked out about what's happening.
Yeah, like that's like you leave and let your superhero daughter.
Don't try and
handle
attack one with a mop. Like what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
So
those fight sequences were so refreshing,
dude, it was really
so fun.
Yeah.
Like the reasoning for it all is kind of like shaky, which I don't really care about, just because like the end result was super fun.
Yeah.
Like the teleporting bit.
Yeah, because they were quantumly entangled or whatever.
Yes.
And I'm like, you know what? They threw quantum in there, so
that means
makes sense to me.
It doesn't. You don't have to explain it.
Meaning everything's in.
It's science you don't know.
Yeah, I love that. But yeah, it's fun like seeing Kamala, who's not as skilled of a fighter, and then it would just suddenly switch to like Carol, who's like, okay, well, let me just fucking fix this real quick.
Yeah.
Or like when they were like first trying to figure out how it worked, and Carol would be like flying in the air, and then all of a sudden they would switch, and then Kamala's just like plummeting to the ground.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is fun.
I feel like she had very genuine reactions. Like she's kind of like the straight man for this, like kind of are into this world. But overall, like the plot was like kind of basic for like an MCU movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
The villain was like
I didn't like the
a
villain.
little forgettable. She had great teeth, like the grills that she had on. Did you notice those?
No, I didn't.
They look kind of they made it look more evil.
What's
somehow.
the villain's name?
I don't know.
I couldn't tell. I don't think I knew the whole movie.
Starts with a D, I think.
That's good. But she's like a Kree.
She's a Kree.
There's like a whole movie
Queen
pretty much that happened
or something
where Captain Marvel destroyed like the supreme intelligence of the Kree world, and that somehow blew out the sun.
Yeah, and it fucked up like the treaty that was between the Kree and the Skrulls.
Yeah, I also didn't really understand the dynamic there.
There was a war that just happens that we didn't see. And then there's a treaty, and then they're trying to work it out.
There's a lot that was like established with Kree and Skrulls, it felt like. So, but like the villain's overall goal is to use those like hexagonal like wormhole things to just rebuild their planet.
Yeah, steal resources from other planets.
Steal the atmosphere, steal the oceans or whatever, steal the sun, I guess.
Yeah.
I like the idea of that. But I don't know. I still don't know why the oceans went away and like the sun went away from destroying an AI. That's just like what I don't remember.
I don't know. But like, I think looking back, I guess she wasn't that bad. Like what she was trying to do, like.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But the way that she's doing it, she was trying to focus on planets that were close to Carol because Carol's the like reason for it.
She's the Annihilator.
Yeah, she's the Annihilator.
From Dutch Bros.
Good drink.
Yeah.
So I think the weakest part of this movie was that Monica was pissed that like she never came back. And then Carol didn't come back because of what she did in space. And she thought that like Monica would like look at her differently. Just don't tell her. She doesn't know what's happening in space. Also, Monica, let it fucking go.
Yeah.
That was like the lamest part of this whole movie for me.
Definitely bigger things going on.
Yeah.
But then again, like
you have fucking powers now.
If it was like 20 years or whatever, like
you're not hanging on to that.
You probably have like some time off or whatever.
Yeah.
A thing that bugged me is like they looked pretty similar in age, you know?
Dude, yeah.
And then the blip, her being gone for 5 years doesn't help. You know?
Yeah,
If
totally.
anything, Captain Marvel should have been blip so she looks younger and then she gets older.
Yeah.
Because there's probably like a 6-year difference now. But she like knew her as a child. Or maybe there's some sort of like aging thing with the Kree or whatever the fuck Captain Marvel is.
Yeah.
Because who knows?
She's like Kree now.
She's got Kree blood or some shit. But
DNA.
it's from Earth. I need to rewatch that other one.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
But yeah, I just thought that being the reason that there was like some tension between them that they had to overcome was super weak.
Yeah.
You'd think Monica would understand her situation. Yeah. And you'd think that Carol would just come back. Or even if she didn't, like, she didn't have to feel bad for it or feel like embarrassed that she was being Captain Marvel. So I just thought that was weak.
Yeah.
But once everybody was chill, it was very fun. It was like very fun cosmic Marvel, like that planet, the singing planet, super fun.
Yeah, that had tons of possibility of being like super cringe.
Yeah, it
but
could have made it very annoying.
It was like brief enough to where it wasn't annoying.
Yeah, and it was fun. Like it had a very distinct style. It almost looked like it was Greece, like architecture almost.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was fun. It was very bright. Everybody's singing, obviously, but they don't understand English, which
It
is
reminded
fun.
me of that city in like Aquaman,
Yeah,
where like
they're like running around the rooftops
Black
or whatever.
Manta, like yeah,
And he's
attacks.
beaming some shit down.
Yeah, tons of beaming.
And that joke where Carol's like, "Oh, he's bilingual."
Yeah, because he like
so funny.
because he doesn't have to sing,
Yeah.
but everyone else has to, and that's like a whole language.
That's a good way to like not commit to like singing the entire time.
Yeah, going back to that like Tiana or to the photon thing, like Tiana Paris, the actress that plays her.
Oh, yeah.
She's like awesome. Like she's like a very good actor. Like she's awesome in like They Clone Tyrone, that like Netflix movie.
I heard about that. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, check it out. And so like you'd think her skills would be show off a little bit more in this because she's more of a main character, but yeah, for some reason that fell flat.
Yeah, I think she's a good actor.
Maybe it's
She's
just
in-
a writing kind of thing.
Yeah, it must have been. I feel like she was the weakest of like the trio, I guess.
Yeah.
Character writing wise, I guess.
Why
Why didn't they give her a name?
I feel like they should have dropped that. Like,
Yeah, give her
it
a
seemed-
photon or a spectrum or whatever she's supposed to be.
It's like, well, because like in Next Wave, isn't she just Monica Rambeau for a while?
I think so, but that's
Slash
lame.
photon. What else do we know her as?
Spectrum?
Isn't she actually like Captain Marvel at a certain point?
Give her a Lieutenant Trouble even. Because that would be silly. And then she'd be like, I want to change it. Give me photon, I guess.
I don't know. It didn't
Because they were trying
much.
to workshop the name too, and then that never like resolved, I
It'd
guess.
be funny if photon was in there, but she just said no to it immediately, or,
Yeah, that would've-
or she's like, put a pin in that one. or
Yeah,
something.
like that would have been fun. I think the joke that made me laugh the most was when the villain sees the bangle on Kamala, and she's like, "Where did you get that?" And she's like, "My grandma like mailed it to me, and then I wore it." So I thought that was funny.
yeah.
But why, when the villain clangs the bangles or whatever, does she disintegrate? But then when Captain Marvel does it, it's like chill.
Because like
Was it because she was
it's
trying to make a wormhole?
I think it's the intent of what you're doing with it.
Hmm.
Because she's trying to make the wormhole bigger to suck up the sun or whatever.
That makes sense. Does Kamala need bangles?
I guess not, but maybe the Bengals like activated her mutant gene or something.
So she doesn't need them anymore?
It probably helps. It's like an amplifier. And now she's got two, I guess.
That's lame.
I don't know. I
Because I
don't
feel like if you can use it
I
without
pref-
the bangle, you like hide the bangle somewhere so that the villain doesn't get it to rip open realities or whatever.
Yeah. But the villain was able to find the bangles somehow.
Yeah.
So like if she just hides them, then it'll just take villains to her house.
Put it, like,
under
under
her
your-
bed.
Yeah, put it under your pillow. It'll at least like take some time to find it under a pillow.
I don't like the bangles. I wish it would just be like the normal Inhuman origin. But like then again,
Yeah.
there wouldn't be
This
this plot.
which
you
is
know?
why they clearly had this plan for a while. But I still like
Is it clear?
I think so, because at the end of Miss Marvel, like the very last episode, like
Oh, she like swaps
it
through.
was when they swapped with Captain Marvel. So they clearly had an idea of like what this was going to be for a while.
Sure.
Which is why they made her powers like that, I assume. So
Okay.
But I agree. I do prefer the
Because they wouldn't even
stretchiness.
connect if like she just had stretchy powers.
No, it wouldn't. There would be no reason to have like a weird light power. I guess you could still use the bangle,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't be like light based powers, which I feel like makes more sense. So
In this universe, at least.
yeah, but now she's just Green Lantern. I guess she could just make hard light constructs, which I think they use well, but
Yeah.
it's whatever.
And so
But yeah, pretty fun.
the ending, big spoilers, Monica's found herself in like a different universe because like, it was like a rip in
Yeah,
space time or whatever.
Monk had to close it.
Yeah, she had to close it from the inside, which doesn't make tons of sense, but it's whatever. And
I thought it was
and then she's woken up by like her mom, who's not actually her mom.
Is she an X-Men?
I guess she's an X-Men here, or maybe she's just Captain Marvel in that universe.
That probably makes more sense. And then she just knows that Hank would know what's going on
Yeah, and then she's homies with
Beast.
the X-Men in Beast.
Yeah, Kelsey Grammer's back, which is cool.
Yeah, I didn't like the CGI thing, but then again, Kelsey Grammer's like 70. So
yeah, it would be kind of hard. But also, they took like the X-Men like 90s cartoon design, it seems like. So that's kind of fun.
sure.
And they like adapted that
Maybe
for
just
live
put
action.
like Kelsey Grammer's son in like the makeup, and then have Kelsey Grammer like
yeah,
do like the what's it called when you like
the stand-in work or
like
whatever.
the voiceover or whatever.
Yeah, voiceover.
There's like a word for it.
It's
but-
I can't remember. I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember either.
so pretty exciting.
Yeah,
I think I heard this like what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was spoiled, but it seemed like someone like knew what happened like well before it came out.
Yeah. So this is another thing that won't be really acted on for a long time, it seems like.
Or
And they
until Deadpool.
also just I guess or till Deadpool.
But the only thing so far that makes sense to bring that in is Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Which is 2 Avengers movies away.
Yeah. So they did a good job of like not committing to anything too much because she's in an entirely different universe.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're going to see the X-Men in like the next movie.
Yeah, it's not like they've been around.
Yeah. They've like teased X-Men in like a non-committal way so many times.
For like 3 years.
Quicksilver and then fucking Patrick Stewart dying, and now it's just like this. And so
Yeah.
I feel like this would have been more exciting if we didn't have those other 2 things that they just like didn't commit to immediately. But
if they had decided like to not move forward with like Jonathan Majors or whatever, and they just move up Secret Wars in the place of King Dynasty,
yeah.
I think that could work.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
agree.
because I don't think there's any.
Do you think that's how they bring in X-Men is through Secret Wars?
Yeah,
I think that makes sense.
I don't think Deadpool is gonna bring us all like just cut a hole.
No, I
and,
I think Deadpool will just be in its own thing
Yeah.
like over here, and it won't really connect. But if it does, it'll be like as a gag.
right.
But like I think if they were they're eventually going to bring in mutants, and so I feel like they will do it through Secret Wars probably. So
Yeah, they're just really like juicing using them for after credit scene shit. You know?
they really are. Or just So, but pretty fun.
Oh well.
I like it. The movie overall.
And then there's a little hint at the upcoming, or for like a Young Avengers forming. Kamala Khan goes to visit Kate Bishop.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, we get to see Pizza Dog.
They got Pizza Dog. Pizza Dog's going to be in the Young Avengers.
Yeah. And
So it'll be, what do we have for that? We have America Chavez, Kate Bishop, Kamala Khan,
I think
Ironheart.
I think they casted like adult versions of like Scarlet Witch's kids.
So like teenage versions of them?
Yeah.
Are they real?
They might be now. And then it's possible to get like Kid Loki, I guess.
People are saying that, but I don't want that.
I don't want it either, but
Get him out of here.
I
He's
think
not
they're
fun.
really just going for that like Kieran Gillen run that we line
Like
up that
with
we saw.
Hulkling and shit and Wiccan?
Yeah, or probably not like Hulkling, but it might be like the Hulk's kid.
Oh, yeah. With the
but-
weird haircut?
Yeah, but he also might be Kree, so he might have like he might be part Skrull or whatever with like a shape-shifting thing.
Hulkling is, right?
Yeah, he is like a Skrull.
Yeah. So we could do that.
So
That'd be cool. I like the Kieran Gillen run. So
Yeah,
let's do it.
it was a good lineup. Oh, who was that other one? It was like
Ironheart.
no, the space dude in the run. It was like
Like Grant Morrison created him.
yeah, Marvel Kid or whatever.
Yeah.
Kid Marvel, Marvel Boy.
Marvel Boy.
Yeah.
We probably won't see him.
Or
Is there a confirmed Young Avengers movie? Like,
no, I don't think so. So this was pretty surprising.
It'd probably just be after Secret Wars, I guess. They'd be like, we need Avengers in New York doing not crazy shit.
Yeah, there's kid problems going on. We need kid people to solve it.
There's a parasite taking over your parents, like in the Young Avengers run. Anyway,
good movie.
good movie. I liked it.
Yeah.
People hating on it are cringe and lame and dumb and stupid,
Yeah.
I think. I mean, there's reasons not to like it.
I think people just need to stop thinking so hard about this stuff.
Yeah, honestly.
Like,
Just have a good time.
it's not going to be The Dark Knight.
Just have low expectations going in.
Nathan, if there were no MCU and this movie came out, we would
fucking
lose our
amazing.
fucking shit.
They'd be like, are you fucking shitting me with this photon stuff?
I would shit my dick, dude.
Yeah. If this movie came out like 10 years ago, we'd be like, oh my God, they put the Supreme Intelligence AI in there. It's
Yeah.
fucking deep cut or whatever. So,
You're like, oh my God, X-Men, you know?
oh my God, Valkyrie.
Yeah. And so like, I'm just like thankful that because since we're like reading comics and we're seeing these characters in like books and stuff, it's not far-fetched that people we're learning about are going to be on screen somewhat soon in the next decade, and that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And that I don't know like if that'll ever happen again outside of like the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm okay with like these building blocks. And so
I'm just glad that they're like taking big swings with like
I like a big swing.
These phases of movies. Like people are like shitting on it or whatever, but I feel like Quantumania is like a pretty big swing to just have the whole thing in a quantum realm. Like I wouldn't want like a third Ant-Man movie like the other two.
Yeah.
Because it's like you did that, you explored that. And so
second one was a little boring.
And like if we just had like another like Captain Marvel movie, I don't think it'd be as fun as having like the three people in there.
Yeah,
so
it'd be hard to
that's
follow
a fun,
up.
Yeah, fun big swing. So I'm liking the big swings. Just stop shitting on people. This is pretty solid stuff. So
it's better than any movie I can make.
Yeah. Or like I really liked Doctor Strange. It's like a top 3, I think, for me.
MCU movie?
Yeah. Top 5. For sure.
Multiverse of Madness?
Yeah. I had a lot of fun watching that movie.
Okay. Anyway. Moving on.
That was good.
What are we going to read next week, Nathan? What are we going to read next week?
What are we reading next week?
It is time to read the French comic that I got us.
Ooh, some skin of a man.
The Man's Skin.
The Man's Skin.
Or A Man's Skin.
A Man's Skin.
Hold on, let me look up the French title.
I think it's A Man's Skin.
A Man's Skin, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to read that. You got me a French book when you went to French land overseas. Where'd you pick that up? Belgium?
That was in France.
France.
I actually don't know how to pronounce it, but it's like Puy de Home.
Cool.
Yeah.
Reading Pew to Home.
Yeah.
For all the Pew to Homies out there.
I don't. I wonder how I'm gonna like post it, the episode. Like, will I be like Pew to Home : A Man's Skin, or A Man's Skin parentheses Pew to Home or something?
Yeah, probably like that.
Okay, I'll do that. All right, thanks everybody for watching and thanks for listening. A little bit longer episode here for extra content.
Yeah, be thankful for it.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's extra work I got to do.
Yeah.
Send us an email at traderspod@gmail.com. Tell us what you thought about the Marvels. Tell us what family books
what other families
we
are
should
there?
do. Yeah. Tell me what comics in other languages you like.
Give us a good Christmas book, perhaps.
Christmas book.
Because that'll come up.
Yep.
Or a New Year's book. I don't know.
We got a link in the bio, like Comics Subscribes, shit like that.
You know the deal.
You do. 5 stars.
Exactly.
All right, goodbye.
Bye.